Have you ever just felt like you're wired a little differently than everyone else? That the unspoken rules most people live by just don't quite connect with you? Well, you might be onto something way bigger than you think. What if all those little things, the quirks that maybe make you feel a bit out of place, aren't flaws? What if they're actually signs of a rare blueprint? Because the cool thing is, science is starting to show this isn't just a feeling, it's literally written into your code. So let's check out the evidence. And we're not just talking about personality here. We're talking about real, tangible, scientifically observed variations in your genes and your brain that set a small handful of people apart from the crowd. These aren't just feel-good theories. They're documented realities. Okay, so here's the deal. Think of this as a little checklist. We're about to run through 4 very specific signs. If you find yourself nodding your head to 3 or even all 4 of them, that's a pretty strong clue that your DNA and your mind are exceptionally rare. So pay attention, this is where it gets fun. All right, let's kick things off with a super physical one. You know the scene, right? It's a summer evening. You're outside and you can hear that awful buzzing sound of mosquitoes everywhere. But for you, something is just different. While every single person around you is getting eaten alive, they're swatting, they're scratching, you're just fine, completely untouched. You're not just getting lucky, you are literally off their radar. And that isn't just a nice perk, it's a real biological advantage. So how does this work? Well, it's not magic, it's pure chemistry. Your unique genetic code means you simply don't produce the chemical signals that mosquitoes are hunting for. It's like you're walking around with a natural stealth mode permanently switched on. Sign number 2 is another fascinating genetic trait. You might have noticed this after a really tough workout or just on a super hot day. It's the rare and kind of amazing ability to just not smell. While everybody else is reaching for their deodorant, you could sweat buckets and still smell completely neutral. It's a perfect example of how one tiny little change in your DNA can have such a huge noticeable effect in the real world. So here's the quick science on it. Body odor isn't from the sweat itself. It's from bacteria on your skin breaking it down. But if you have this very specific, very rare gene variation, that whole process just doesn't happen. No food for the bacteria, no smell. Simple as that. Okay, so we've covered a couple of incredible physical traits. But a true blueprint isn't just skin deep, right? This kind of rarity is also built into the very way your brain is wired, how you actually process the world around you. Let me ask you this. Do you ever feel totally exhausted after being in a big group, even if it was fun? But then the moment you get some time to yourself, your brain just lights up with ideas? You're not antisocial. Your brain is just optimized for a different environment. For most people, a crowd is pure energy, but for you, it can feel like static, like a constant drain on your mental battery. But solitude, that isn't emptiness. That is your charging station. It's where all the noise finally fades out, and the real insights, the sparks of genius, can pop. And this preference for quiet is a classic sign of deep-level thinking. See, while a lot of people are happy with just knowing what, your brain is automatically programmed to dig deeper. It wants to know why and how. And that kind of heavy mental lifting requires focus. It needs quiet. And what about this one? Have you ever been called lazy because you don't immediately jump on every single task or follow every trend? People can easily misunderstand that stillness for inaction, but what's really going on is something far more strategic. We live in a world that glorifies being busy, but you're playing a totally different game. You're not a busy bee, you're a thinker. You instinctively weigh the cost versus the benefit of your energy, calculating if an action is actually a smart move or just wasted motion. And this right here is the heart of it. Your path isn't determined by what's popular or what everyone else is doing. It's guided by your own internal compass, your genuine curiosity. And trust me, that selective approach is a rare and incredibly powerful trait in a world this noisy. So, we've walked through 4 pretty distinct signs of a rare blueprint. We had 2 in your DNA and 2 in the wiring of your mind. Now it's time to put the pieces together for yourself. Just think back for a second. The mosquito invisibility, the no-odor gene, that need for solitude to think deeply, and that selective, curiosity-driven way of approaching life. How many of those really resonated with you? And if you tallied up 3 or more, then the conclusion is pretty clear. You're not operating with a standard issue set of instructions. Your blueprint isn't common. It's rare. And that is exactly what makes it so powerful. So please stop trying to fit into a mold that was never designed for you in the first place. These aren't quirks that you need to fix. They are strengths that you need to understand and use. Your rarity is your advantage. It is time to embrace it. I'll just leave you with this final thought. A rare and unique blueprint can't be used to build a common, everyday structure. So if you know you're different, why are you pressuring yourself to live and think and act just like everyone else? What could you build if you truly leaned in to your own unique design?